Well, 1909 was the year that these two clubs met for the first time. A draw in the FA Cup at Watford's old Casio Road Stadium, just a couple of miles up the road from here. They've met up and down the league ladder since, including in the Premier League back in the 99-2000 season. We wonder, though, whether there has ever been a more significant meeting than this one here in Hertfordshire this Sunday lunchtime. 180 minutes of Championship playoff football played so far, just one goal, and that is David Nugent's one that separates these two sides. They've been tense and cagey first legs, haven't they? Now we go again, though. No second chances after this one. Two will become one here this afternoon. It is quite simply Wembley or bust. Andy Hinchcliffe, what sort of approach do you expect, particularly from Leicester here?
Well, it is all about mindsets. I think Nigel Pearson, the team that he's gone for, sent a message to his own players that they can't just go out there, play for a 0-0 draw. The team has picked the same side from that first leg. They've got to try and score in this game. I think it's so important to them. Gol De Deeney back is a big, big bonus for Watford, though.
They walk out here at the Vicarage, still a few haunting memories lurking from the last time they were here on the final day, I'm sure. Well, the return of Gol De Deeney after suspension is the boost Watford hope will give them the momentum to overturn the deficit. 3 goals in his last 3 games. He comes into partner Gol De Vydra in one of 3 changes from the first leg. Matthew Briggs is on loan from Fulham. He starts his first game in a month. An Italian under-20 international, Christian Batocchio, is preferred to Jonathan Hogg in midfield. Leicester have named an unchanged side in the last 2 games. They do it again here. It's the same 11 that started at the King Power Stadium on Thursday night. David Nugent's first goal in 17 sees him keep his place up front alongside Chris Wood. Jeff Schlupp remains at fullback despite some nervy moments in that first leg. Experienced John Eustace hasn't played at all for Watford since February. He's again on their bench, just as he was for the first leg. Daniel Pudil and Jonathan Hogg drop out of the side to join him. Leicester named the same bench as they did for that first leg. Well, interesting to hear Andy Gianfranco Zola saying he feels Gol De Deeney has some work to do, some extra motivation after being sent off here. How key is he?
I think he's absolutely vital. The way that Watford function with him leading the line, he just brings other players into the game as well. He scored 19 in the Championship this season, 9 assists as well. He's an absolutely vital part of Gianfranco Zola's lineup here, and he'll be delighted to get out there and maybe in many ways make amends for missing that first leg.
Gianfranco Zola has called for the performance of the season here today, and they put in some pretty solid ones. Minds will cast back to their last and most emphatic home win here against Blackburn. But have they lost the momentum? So much of sport is in the mind. Leicester come here having won back-to-back games for the first time in 4 months. They got in that first leg their first clean sheet in 14 games, and of course David Nugent, their top scorer, has ended his longest ever goal drought. Can Leicester capitalise on the momentum that is seemingly with them?
Well, Nigel Pearson is not a manager that panics easily, and that's the message to his players as well. Just keep your cool, stick to the game plan. It worked in the first leg. This is going to be a different game completely, I feel. He's got to get that message to his players. It's the formation we've got works. Let's just carry that game plan right through to the end.
Nigel Pearson and Gianfranco Zola, who played against each other in Wembley finals for Chelsea and Middlesbrough back in the 90s, now send out their sides to take their place at Wembley Stadium in the richest game of football in the world, the Championship playoff final on May the 27th. Final messages from Watford's bandaged Spanish goalkeeper, their captain Manuel Almunia, who has played at the very highest level with Arsenal, and he helped get Watford back to the Premier League. Certainly it's a boost that he is again fit after that hamstring injury that started that extraordinary chain of events the last time Watford played here.
Well, it's very important for Watford, I feel, from the kick-off here to play at a high tempo, but they need to be patient as well. They've got to play on the front foot. They, of course, need a goal to get back into the tie, but they're more of a counter-attacking side, and the pressure will be on them. They're at home. Their fans will expect them to step forward, just see whether they can actually deal with the pressure of being at home.
Yeah, they need to remind themselves, don't they, of what they've done well all season. Easier said than done as King touches onto Nugent, who really is a confident striker. So many are, but when he gets one goal, David Nugent, others invariably tend to follow.
And of course, he's on the side, David Nugent, to score the goals, the key goals, but he will also today, I feel, maybe drop back into midfield at times when Watford have the ball, because Watford have the extra man in central areas, and he might just be asked to play off Chris Wood at times.
Absolutely perfect footballing conditions here at Vicarage Road this Sunday lunchtime as Doyley gets there just ahead of Dyer. All the pitches for these playoffs have been nothing other than perfect. Far cry from the days of old when there would be barely a blade of grass at this time of year. So Leicester have this lead. They have the history on their side as well. First leg leads don't often get overturned in the Championship playoffs. It's only happened 6 times in the 27 years of them. Chalobah, Abdi, Doyley, and Anya. Deeney. Anya's set off down the right. Deeney seeks him. Can he get him behind Schlupp?
Well, this is why Jeff Schlupp has been retained at left-back purely for his pace up against Anya. Some dodgy moments in the first leg defensively. In a straight leg race, he is very quick, quicker than Anya. He's quicker to that ball.
Sends out a positive message, though, doesn't it? The selection of an unchanged side for the 3rd game in a row from Nigel Pearson.
If you look at it, they've won the last 2 games, Leicester against Forest and, of course, against Watford in the first leg, so why change it?
He's got it in towards Deeney. Doyley. Chalobah on loan from Chelsea, a talented team. And he's penalised, coming back at Andy King. He's gone back to his normal hair colour. His attempt to diet famous Watford goal didn't quite pay off. It went a strange hue of orange for the final day here.
He's only a young player, but a very talented player. But Chalobah with Abdi and Batocchio, those 3 central players for Watford. With Deeney now in the side, his hold-up play is excellent. At least 2 of those 3 at times have to break forward and support Deeney.
James. Knockout, who scored the goal to get Leicester into these playoffs. Pushing down by Batocchio, and away by Briggs. Keane and Schlupp. Watford did do the league double over Leicester for the first time since the 1980s. As we saw in the first leg, that didn't count for so much. This is up towards Deeney. Marshall well by Morgan.
That's what Troy Deeney does so well. He mixes his game up, he comes short for the ball into his feet, and at times he'll spin and look to use his pace to run in behind centre halves, and he wasn't far off there. Another couple, maybe a couple of yards on that forward ball. He could have been in.
You do sense he's feeling a lot more comfortable out there on the pitch than he was sitting next to Simon Thomas in the studio in the first leg.
I think he'll be fairly thankful he got a chance to play in these playoffs. When he gets sent off, you're never sure whether it's going to be 2 or 3 game ban. He only got the 1. It gives him a chance to really make an impact on the tie.
There he has 4 blue shirts around him. That tells you the measure of the menace that Leicester know he possesses. Here's Nugent now. Too strong for Batocchio. Nugent, knockout, onside, chance Leicester.
Well, it takes really unselfish work from David Nugent, because the ball breaks very kindly to him, and I thought he was going to put his foot through this and take the shot on just there. He just holds the pass, and Lloyd Doyley, I think he's playing Knockout on. That's why no flag goes up, and in the end there's no one for Knockout to really pick out.
First corner, it's Leicester's, it's in front of the Rookery, Ekstrand. Touched by Anya. James there first. Knockout. Another corner.
Well, Nigel Pearson will be very pleased with the start that his side has made. You can say many things to a team before they go out, before a ball is kicked. It's up to your players to really approach the game in the right way, and Leicester have started well.
Just to be fair, as they did in the first leg. Really good delivery in. Superb chance for Delan. It's not away yet. They're appealing for handball. Michael Oliver's not going to give it. He is going to give it another corner, though.
It happened in the first leg. Richie Delat just making a move across the 6-yard box, finding some space and just tries to help the ball on rather than strike it goalwards.
The guests are the first to step it up here. Another knockout delivery. Almunia unconvincing.
Well, it's not an easy decision for Michael Oliver to make. Richie Delat just helps this ball on. The arms are certainly raised, but I can't see there's any real intention there. Both players just throwing themselves at the near post.
Real early pressure here. Wood went for the flick at the near post. Still no way out for Watford. It's with James. Back it comes off Briggs. Now is there a counter, which really is a forte. Still they can't get out, Watford. It's a sizzling start from Leicester City. Delat. Almunia.
Well, playing well is one thing, but Leicester have started with a real appetite for the game. You can see here how high up the field they're closing Watford down. They're not allowing them any time and space to play out from the back.
Chalobah. Deeney has Vydra to his left. Finds a great ball to Vydra! Well, everyone inside Vicarage Road thought that was going to be the moment he ended his drought.
He's had some big opportunities in the tie. In the first leg he did and missed them, but this is what Troy Deeney is so good at. He just sucks defenders towards him. Great vision, great way to pass. Everything is right about the move. And Vydra, once again, he probably does the right thing, but you've got to hit the target. Down the other end, big shout for a penalty. For me, though, I think it's debatable because both players are throwing themselves at that near post. There's no intention, really, to handle this. They're just trying to block it. But when your arms are out, it's Ekstrand whose left arm is out. You always run the risk, but the referee, hard to see through the traffic there.
Schlupp. Looking for knockout. It's quite a stiff breeze actually around Vicarage Road, and of course one side of this stadium is open with what's left of a condemned stand. "13 games and counting for Matej Vydra, Andy."
Yeah, he's been out of sorts though, and he's been left out of the side in the last month or so, and maybe this is a reason why. Just his finishing is so sharp earlier on in the season. I think 6 months ago he would have drilled that into the back of the net. Another disappointing miss from Vydra.
Well, we wondered how Leicester were going to approach it. I think we've got our answer, haven't we, Andy?
Well, so they've closed Watford down. They've had those opportunities from set pieces. They've shown great appetite. They're closing Watford down. But Watford, as we just saw there, only take 3 or 4 passes, and with Deeney in the side, he can open defences up. So even when you're going forward, you've got to be careful you don't get caught against Watford on the counter-attack.
Seems strange Watford should be disappointed with their highest league finish for 7 years, but because of what happened here against Leeds and indeed up at Hull City on the final day, there's certainly more than a tinge of disappointment here. Leicester, well, they're in the playoffs, aren't they, for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. When they lost on penalties, although winning the 2nd leg away at Cardiff, Jan Kermigan's penalty, Nigel Pearson was manager. That's the only time actually in their 6 previous playoff visits that they haven't managed to reach the final.
I think neither side are thinking about penalties at this stage, but both have lost their last 2 penalty shootouts, so it's nerve-wracking already. If you get extra time, it'll be even more nerve-wracking, but penalties, I don't think the players will be looking forward to that whatsoever.
Doyley. It'll be a Watford free kick. Doyley, Deeney, he's got beyond Keane, Deeney! He fired that in with some power, and Schmeichel had to get it a long way away.
It's a fabulous strike, but you can't allow Troy Deeney to take that ball down and run at you. One of your centre-halves has to get touch tight with him. Once he gets it down and turns and runs at you, as we saw there, he'll just open things up for himself, and he's very unlucky with his strike.
2 Watford strikers in the polar opposites of form. Deeney 3 in his last 3, 19 all season. Vydra hasn't scored since February.
You see Keane and Morgan there, they seem scared to death. They stand off him when that ball is flying towards Troy Deeney. One of them has got to get tight with him. You can't allow him to take him down and turn. He's got the ability to open something up from absolutely nothing. It's brilliant play.
Nugent for Wood. Trying to get beyond the experienced Cassetti. Here's Delat. Knockout. And Andy King. Delat, King, knockout. Briggs has lost out. Here's knockout. Cassetti again providing the defensive barrier that Watford needed. King, Wood, Nugent, look at Dyer getting forward, nice idea from Leicester.
There's been a combination play between Wood and Nugent. I think Chris Wood, they need a big game from him. Leicester hardly saw him in the first leg, and he needs to play that lone striking role really well, get hold of the ball as he did there, bring players into the game.
Tokyo closing down, putting the pressure on Kasper Schmeichel. Voted by his peers as the best goalkeeper in this league this season.
And there you see the difference. The ball's played up to Troy Deeney, and Wes Morgan is right at his back, not allowing any time to even take the ball under control and turn at him. It's so much harder for a centre-forward when you've got a centre-half at your back, and the two Leicester centre-halves need to do that time and again with a big centre-forward.
Doyle was right at the back of Nugent there, but unfairly so. What a change of referee here today, by the way. Michael Oliver, who you might have seen take charge at Selhurst Park on Friday night, wasn't due to be in charge here. Phil Dowd was, but he's been pressed into duty up at Goodison Park today. So there's been a refereeing runaround.
He's a good referee to bring into this game as well. Just one red card in 38 games this season, so he's a referee who likes the game to flow and likes to keep everybody out there.
Delat, the deflection, will take it for yet another Leicester City corner, and they've had a view in this first 13 minutes.
That right-hand side for Leicester is really profitable with Knockout ahead of Delat. Delat does like to get forward from right-back time and again. That's a really positive sign from Leicester. Away from home, a goal up. The full-backs are really bombing forward, looking to get crosses in.
And this gives a chance for the centre-halves to come forward. Morgan and Keane. That's away by Vydra. Chalobah. The Tokyo is not the biggest, but was buffeted into by Dyer. Well, Leicester's away record, if you look at what they did over the course of a league season as a pointer, isn't really spectacular, but they come into this on the back of that wonderful away win that got them into the playoffs at Nottingham Forest. They hadn't won there since 1972, and they're still in some ways surfing the momentum that that win gave them.
I think Leicester's away form not great during the regular season, but you look at Watford as well, finishing third. They've only got the 10th best home record, and I think that underlines the way that they play. That counter-attacking system is probably more suited to playing away from home. They're under more pressure at home, they get more possession, and they're not really a side that can keep the ball and really break you down, and with concerted pressure they love to suck you forward and then break quickly on the counter.
Doyle, Chalobah, Adby, Watford's player of the year. On loan Chelsea man, now Cassetti for Vydra. Oh, goodness me! He's back! Matej Vydra has plucked out an absolute stunner, and Watford are level.
Well, if you consider the chances that Matej Vydra has missed in this time, this is quite astonishing. It reminds me a lot of Robin van Persie's goal, the ball dropping over his shoulder. The level of difficulty and technique you need to score from this type of chance is very, very high. Great movement off the ball, but there's no real urgency from the Leicester defenders. They don't believe he's going to take the shot on, let alone score. And Kasper Schmeichel is absolutely rooted. This is top quality. And the tie now is absolutely wide open. And Vydra, well, he needed a goal. This is a really spectacular one.
A goal worthy of Zola the player, and Zola the manager celebrates with the rest of Vicarage Road. February the 23rd, the last time he wheeled away in celebration, and there's an element of relief about that one.
Absolutely, the technique, the timing on the shot itself, but his movement off the ball, and not once does he look at where the goal is. He knows where the goal is, he knows where Schmeichel is, and absolutely buries it. Fantastic finish.
Well, it was for moments like that that he was voted Player of the Year by his fellow professionals in this division. The way he's gone off the ball in recent months, some forgot of what he was able to produce earlier in the season. That is an absolutely stunning reminder.
As he makes his move, it's Michael Keane who's alongside him, and the defender probably thinks he's just going to take it down on his chest, bring somebody else into the game. The last thing you think from that angle is he's going to shoot.
I tell you what, De Laat has landed really awkwardly there. Briggs didn't jump with him. De Laat just clattered into him, and it's a very awkward throw.
This is the problem, because his eyes are on the ball, and there's nothing malicious from Briggs. You can see he's trying to get out of the way. He knows he's not going to get to it, and there's nothing wrong with what Briggs does. It's just that awkward landing. He gets flipped in the air. It is a nasty landing. The referee, Michael Oliver, did well. He got the physio on very quickly.
Well, Nigel Pearson, before the match, was talking about perhaps mistakes would be the defining moment in this very tight Championship playoff semi-final. What he didn't talk about was a moment of brilliance, a spark, such as has been provided by Matej Vydra.
I mentioned that finish by Robin van Persie, but this was such... The level of difficulty here is just astonishing. Defenders all around him, a top goalkeeper to beat as well, and this is just stunning. You see his level of concentration. He's watching that ball all the way onto his foot. He knows what he wants to do. He makes his mind up so quickly. When he's in the penalty area, he's looking to do this, but to be able to carry it out as well, that's quite stunning.
Watch forward by Schmeichel. De Laat is okay. Here's Schlupp. Well, that's a real body blow to Leicester. How are they going to respond to that? They've left Wes Morgan up. This is Wood. And Schlupp. King got the touch. Abdi's back there defending. Up by Ekstrand. Dyer. Too quick for Doyley. Cassetti's there. Leicester trying to capitalise on the traditional post-goal vulnerability that sides often show.
And this is the last matchup that Watford want, is Lloyd Doyley being dragged out from that centre-half role into the wide area against Lloyd Dyer, who is very quick, and the rest of those Watford defenders, as soon as Dyer picks up the ball, they've got to be aware a cross is going to be whipped in.
Well, one Lloyd considerably quicker than the other. Nugent! He's done it again! A timely leap from David Nugent, and the goals are starting to flow from him, and Leicester back in front.
Oh, this is absolutely incredible, but Watford will be bitterly disappointed. It's a soft goal to give away, but David Nugent, as we saw in the first leg, is in the right place at the right time and time again. That's why you score so many goals. He's up against Doyley. He just simply doesn't get tight enough to him. He's got half a yard to work with, and it's not a powerful header, it's a very clever header. He just guides it into the bottom corner. He knows that Almunia's not going to reach it. He doesn't have to power it, he just nods it into that far corner. A quite brilliant goal. You'd have to say Leicester probably deserved to be level. They made the better start, and they're back on terms.
Tense, cagey first legs, explosive, dramatic second legs, and we're still inside the first 20 minutes. Vydra. And both clubs have their main man up and running again. David Nugent, who remember, got his first goal in 17 in the first leg, now has 2 in 2. Oh, what a ball from Vydra to Deeney. Schmeichel did superbly well to come out quickly.
Well, Michael Keane, centre-half, got caught ball watching here. He has no idea where Troy Deeney is. You can see he's watching the ball, doesn't know where the centre-forward is, and well, it's a good job Schmeichel's off his line quickly, because if not, Deeney's turning that into an empty net. This is why we love the playoffs, isn't it? The sun's out, both sides really going at it, hammer and tongs. Great appetite for the game, we've seen real quality as well, and I don't think we're finished yet.
Well, everyone knows there is no other chance after this. First legs, people know, okay, as long as we're still in it for the second, that's the main thing. Even if we do have a deficit to claw back. Second legs, the season ends here, or in 15 days' time, you get to play an extraordinary game at Wembley Stadium. Palace and Brighton away. They play tomorrow night at the Amex. In just about 4 minutes, Watford were able to enjoy parity in this playoff.
And Gianfranco Zola will be disappointed. His side back on level terms in the tie, and from set pieces, even in the first leg, they didn't look comfortable. Every time Leicester whipped that ball in, they looked in a bit of trouble. But give Dave Nugent a lot of credit. It wasn't the easiest header under pressure. It made it look so simple.
Slip for Wood. Abdi. King fouled by Chalobah. Got a clash of two systems here, and the Watford play three at the back with their wing backs and two up front. Leicester much more of a 4-4-2, but there are few surprises. This is the third meeting in 17 days between these two.
Well, that really underlines why I feel it's right that Leicester are on level terms. They've really pressed the game. They've made it very hard for Watford to play out from their own half.
James delivers, looking for Morgan. Cassetti.
Just shows the importance of hitting the target when you have opportunities. Work the goalkeeper or put the ball in the back of the net. It's exactly what Leicester have done.
Going back, Andy, to that Vydra goal. So many chances we saw in the first leg when he had a bit of time to think about it, and indeed today when he was played in by Deeney. That one didn't really have the time to think. It was instinctive, wasn't it?
I was just about to say, look at all the chances he's missed. He's had too much time to think about them, and with that one he'd made his mind up early, and it's all about his quality, his technique, and it's shone through.
Here's Anya. To Rundstrup. In this moment to get it in. Briggs coming in at the far post. Well defended by Richie Delat. Here's Cassetti. Deeney. Wood back to help out. Ekstrand. Chalobah. Deeney's the target again. Not many give Wes Morgan a real problem, but Deeney does time after time, doesn't he?
It's all about how he mixes his game up. He comes short and then he looks to run long, and just the timing of his runs, he stays on side, he runs in behind either centre-half, he doesn't just stick with one, and he's giving Keane and Morgan lots of trouble, and they've got to be aware. If they get caught ball watching, we saw it with Michael Keane. Troy Deeney, the timing of his runs will get in behind you and he'll punish you.
Wood. Dyer. In comes Knockout.
He's under some pressure from Batocchio. See this with Knockout. He won't just stay out on that right-hand side. He loves to come inside on his left foot and join in. They've got that flexibility in attack, Leicester. It's a difficult one because he's under pressure and the ball's really coming at him. It's difficult to adjust your body and get the pace and keep it on target.
Yeah, it was more of a tap-in for him on that final day at the City ground. Almost the last kick of Leicester City's regulation season to bring them into these playoffs. Cassetti, fouled by Morgan.
You see this all the time with players. They always plead their innocence when they go in to try and pinch the ball to me. Wes Morgan's got a case there. He seems to be just too strong for... Is it Cassetti? To get his body in there, win the ball cleanly. Doesn't seem an awful lot wrong with that.
Anya. Nugent got his body in there ahead of Chalobah on the free kick.
There's that role I was talking about, David Nugent dropping back into midfield, making it very hard for Chalobah or Abdi to pick their passes. He's going to have to cover a lot of ground, but we know how effective he can be in the opposition penalty area. He might have to drop back into midfield and do plenty of work there as well.
Abdi. Seems Andy to be operating a little deeper than usual, Alman Abdi, with Batocchio afforded the chance to get forward.
It seems that's the change that Gianfranco Zola freshened up his side with making those 3 changes. But yeah, Abdi's sitting deeper. It's allowing Chalobah and Batocchio just to push on. At the moment, they're just struggling to really get involved in the game.
Briggs, another one of the changes he made, bringing him in for the Czech defender Daniel Pudil. Losing out to Delat. Chalobah. Nice pass by Chalobah, came in strongly and fairly. There's not going to be a free kick. There is going to be a Leicester break. Knockout. Too strong for Cassetti. Too skillful for Batocchio. Watford still have a man down. That's why you can hear the reception around Vicarage Road.
It's Andy King who comes in with the challenge. The ball just sits up. It seemed to me he didn't actually play the ball first, so he clearly plays the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. He's got every right to go for that ball. The follow through catches Chalobah, but he's not looking to injure him. He's trying to tackle, and the referee's got that one right.
Well, the sold-out signs went up here earlier in the day. Every vantage point taken to have a look at this one and see whether Watford can emulate previous playoff successes. Their last playoff campaign, of course, ended in disappointment under A.P. Boothroyd when they were beaten by Phil Brown's Hull. Gianfranco Zola, who has such wonderful Wembley memories as a player, whether it was scoring for Italy against England or lifting trophies there with Chelsea. Batocchio couldn't get it to Briggs. There's Vydra. Good turn, took him away from King. Anya, Glaswegian-born on loan from Granada. Deeney.
Well, Kasper Schmeichel really sees this all the way. He knows that Deeney's going to try and get a shot away, and it's difficult with your instep to try and really pass this into the top corner. He's a long, long way out, doesn't get the power on it. Positioning of Schmeichel is excellent.
Abdi. Anya. Out of play from Schrupp's clearance. Well, an entertaining half an hour played here at Vicarage Road. Matej Vydra's spectacular strike levelled up by David Nugent's second goal in this two-legged semi-final. Chalobah. Industrious work from Nugent. He'll get the chance to come forward here and find Dyer. Anya now.
It's a great bit of work once again from David Nugent. You talk about being the star, you want to score goals as a centre forward to win games, but his work ethic, he's a real team player as well.
Schlupp giving Wood a chase. There's an element of unpredictability with balls like that because of this stiff wind around Vicarage Road today. Leicester captain away. James taking it away from Briggs. Abdi for Tokyo. James can clear.
Well, that's where Watford really do have to be patient. There's so many blue shirts back in defence with Dave Nugent dropping into midfield. It's mass ranks of defence for Leicester, and Watford just have to keep the ball moving. At times they're trying to play that killer pass too often, too quickly. Just maybe put a few passes together and just try and prise open the Leicester defence.
Excellent close control from Vydra. He's got the touch back from Deeney. James got a boot in. And now knockout. Dyer. Wood offside. It's a tight one.
Well, this looks a very tight call. Cassetti's arm went up very quickly as soon as the pass was played. They made their mind up to step up, and from that angle it looks very, very close. The linesman absolutely convinced Wood was offside.
Well, he's got a yellow card because he carried on and took a shot at goal. It came back off the crossbar. Superb strength from Deeney. He's got it out to Anya. King. Chalobah. Not going to afford him any space in an area like that after what he did to them in the last league meeting. Dyer trying to unlock the door again. He did a moment ago with that very tight offside decision that went against Leicester.
It's so congested in the middle of the park, really, for Watford going forward. They've got to try and get Briggs and Anya into the game, running at fullbacks.
Deeney. Well, he can do just that and find Anya. Anya leaves Schlupp on the deck. And again, hangs it up. Deeney goes for the spectacular.
Well, that's the difference for me. If they can get Briggs or especially Anya into the game, they have the ability to twist and turn and deliver some crosses. They need to stretch that Leicester defence. There's so many bodies back there, it's hard to break them down. That's a tough opportunity, though, for Deeney on the stretch.
I think he wanted it put in a little bit earlier, didn't he? There was one twist, one turn too many from Ikechi Anya.
I think Anya's been watching too much of Peter Beagriff, as he used to twist, and at times he should deliver a lot earlier as well.
I doubt it. First half minutes remaining, and the status quo from the first leg remains. Leicester's lead is a slender one. Wood, Nugent, Anya. Schlupp needed to get that, and he did. Now he can get on the front foot, Schlupp. Knockout. Oh, he's opened it up, but turned back into trouble. And a nervy moment negotiated there for Watford.
His first turn was brilliant. He was on his right foot, just send a shot away, trying to be too clever and switch it onto his left foot again. Just You've got half a yard in a game like this, take your shots.
Has he been watching Peter Beagrie as well?
Surely not, because it's not that good a viewing.
Seemed to have his arms all over Chris Wood, but it's been allowed to go. Knockout.
Gianfranco Zola will be pleased with this. His side of getting on the ball. It's all about creating opportunities. We saw the goal from Vydra came from very little. We just need to keep forcing Leicester back and create chances for Troy Deeney.
Here's Schlupp. First time he's really been able to get forward. Put it in a pretty inviting area, but there were no blue shirts there.
Yeah, Schlupp and Dyer are pretty much interchangeable. One will sit in for the other if the fullback breaks forward, as Schlupp did there.
Vydra looking for Deeney. Wood. James. Knockout. The flag didn't go up. He would have been onside had he controlled it. Here's Briggs. Cassetti. 5 full Italy caps to his name. Number 20 Italy international Batocchio to Anya. Chalobah, lovely first touch. He's found Anya. Anya in for Deeney.
Fabulous build-up play, especially from Chalobah. What a great defensive header from Wes Morgan. He got close to Troy Deeney and made sure the striker didn't get to the ball first.
King. Wood.
The game is certainly ebbing and flowing. Leicester having a bit of possession, and then Watford coming back at them. I do feel if Watford can get it in wide areas, get crosses in like this, that's brilliant from Wes Morgan. Though, big, powerful centre-half gets his body in the way. It's a really good clearing header.
Desperate to take that next step, Wes Morgan. He tried 3 times with Nottingham Forest, never managed to get beyond these two-legged semi-finals and play in a playoff final.
He's been outstanding this season. It's been a mixed season, really, in many ways for Leicester. His level of performance throughout the season has been top-notch.
Yeah, that defensive spine of goalkeeper and centre-half and captain. Schmeichel and Morgan both voted in that PFA Team of the Year. Cassetti. Abdi. To Anya. He's got beyond Schlupp. Well, the assistant had a good look at it and didn't wave the flag initially. Anya looking for a foul. Eventually it was given when Anya bit back.
I think Schlupp is a little bit fortunate here. He makes his mind up to slide in and try and pinch this ball. Actually give him some credit. He probably gets there just about the right time, and then there's a little trip there from Anya. That's just silly. It's a good contest, Anya and Schlupp, both quick, both very positive, and we have to keep an eye on that, because that could be a really telling area of the pitch for Watford.
thorough browse from both Nigel Pearson and his assistant Craig Shakespeare. A lot of people expected Leicester to make a change in that left-back position and put Paul Konchesky in. So far, Jeffrey Schlupp has not made the same sort of error that nearly opened the door for Watford in the first leg.
Nothing against Paul Konchesky, but maybe if you do that, it just sends a signal to the opposition that you're thinking about being more defensively minded. Schlupp is a forward-thinking fullback.
Well, he's a striker, really.
Absolutely, he can play anywhere. He's very versatile. But I think if you play Paul Konchesky, it just maybe says to the opposition, we're going to sit deeper. We've got recognised defenders in there, and we're looking to maybe just pick up the draw that we need. They've got the draw that they need so far, but they have played on the front foot.
Also another factor, Paul Konchesky has had a recent hernia operation, so perhaps isn't as match fresh as the young Ghanaian international. Batokio. Keane away. Ekstrand. This is Dyer. Madrid's rather waited for that one. Watford don't pay the price. Chalobah. Slip in there ahead of Deeney. Abdi for Anya. Anya's cross, Deeney!
There was half a chance. Andy King is in close proximity to Troy Deeney, but this is what they need to do more. Watford get it wide, get crosses in. It's not the easiest chance for the centre forward on the half volley, on the turn. Trying to keep that down's the problem.
And they're asking the questions. The only one so far finding the back of the net was that one from Matej Vydra.
I think we've seen from Gianfranco Zola during the course of the season. He's not one to panic. He wants his team to do anything differently. Just encourages them to keep playing their football.
But as the tension mounts, as the time runs out, little things will start to prey in the back of Watford's minds. They've only won one of their last 5 games here. Leicester City, the joint best away defence in this division over the course of the season. Abdi forward. He's been looking across to the bench. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to continue Watford's Player of the Year, and this will be a blow. Can he make it through to half-time to be assessed by the medical staff, or is that too much of a risk? Chalobah. In comes King. Nugent. Galat. Now James to King. Leicester content to hold on to possession. They're rewarded with a corner. Good patient play, wasn't it?
It was. They got the rewards because they'll take a set piece at this stage of play. They can just take a bit of a breather, get some quality in from this set piece, and if they score here, this could change absolutely everything.
Well, their equalising goal on the afternoon came from a corner. What can they do with number 7? They'll be lucky 7. Knockout takes. The call comes from Almunia, and he's adjudged to have been fouled by Morgan.
Oh, there's Morgan, a smile on his face. He probably doesn't feel he does an awful lot wrong. He's got every right to challenge for this ball. Is there much contact on the keeper? Well, maybe a little bit, but sometimes the referees have just got to let the game go. You can't always protect goalkeepers. That's not the worst foul you'll ever see. fabulous first half. It's everything you expect from the playoffs. Exciting, there's plenty of desire, determination, some real quality as well. And I'm sure we've got a fascinating second half in prospect as well.
Well, it looks for all the world like the equation will be the same for Watford, in that they'll need to score another goal. It'll be all over for them. Leicester City, who couldn't build on what was their first clean sheet in 14 games in the first leg. If they can carry on their good defensive record on the road, then the prize that beckons is an enormous one. Nugent has got it through to Wood, who's offside. Doesn't want to kick it away again, having been booked for that offence earlier on.
On this occasion he did look more offside than he did on the first time. Yeah, you can see he is just a yard or so off.
And that's that for a first half that has lived up to the billing. A season at stake, and one of the goals of the season from Gol De Vydra got Watford level in the tie and got him scoring again, which is what happened to David Nugent in the first leg, and he added to his tally. 1-1 on the afternoon, so Leicester still with that 1-goal lead. It is tantalisingly poised here, isn't it? Watford top scorers in the Championship. One more goal required to stay alive. One more win to keep their Wembley dream alive. Or Leicester, who 2 weeks ago thought it was all over. If they're able to maintain the scoreline as it is now, then they go to Wembley to take on either Crystal Palace or Brighton. No half-time changes, and the positive news for Watford, Andy, is that Abdi is out there after what looked like could potentially be a match-ending injury.
It's absolutely vital, the player of the season for Watford. They need him out there, and they need his influence out there. And it'll be interesting this second half. Leicester got everything right in that first half. The formation, the high-tempo game they played, they pressed Watford in their own half, and they continue to do that for the duration of this second half. And the onus is on Watford, of course. They need a goal, and they're going to take a few risks.
Watford attacking a packed Rookery end in this second half. Here is Abdi. Batokio. Abdi. Anya. Beyond Schlupp. He's slightly wild with his lunge. Batokio. Out by James. Cassetti.
Just too inviting for Cassetti, that ball breaking. The penalty area, but a good start from Watford. This is going to have to be the way of things for Gianfranco Zola. They need to get hold of the ball, get it into wide areas, force Leicester back. They need to start creating more chances than they did in the first half.
Marco Cassetti with the shot. April 2010 for Roma against Atalanta, the last time he scored a goal.
You can see how high up the pitch he was. You can see how Watford are going to press the game when they keep possession well, which they can do in central midfield areas. And maybe a couple of those centre-halves can press on, join the midfield, and maybe get shots away.
Cassetti, by the way, one of 5 of the Udinese loanees in this starting lineup for Watford. We've got one on loan from Fulham, one on loan from Chelsea as well, and one from Granada in Ikechi Anya. Here's Vydra. Delat's there first. Wood. Fouled. And this is a free kick in range for Leicester.
I'm not sure how much contact there was on Chris Wood, but this is the role that he really does have to play. He's got to get his body ahead of defenders, be physical, stop the Watford defenders getting to the ball. There is an arm in the face. He goes down very easily, but it is a foul. This is what he's got to do. That's the role he has to play.
Good couple of thousand Leicester City fans housed in the Vicarage Road end, towards which Anthony Knockout will fire this one by the look of things. He's called Matty James towards him. That'll be one of these two. Knockout, it just floats over.
Difficult from that type of range to get the pace and the power on it, to try and hit that top corner, and actually Almunia had seen it coming as well. He was dancing across his goal line.
Extra. Briggs. Caught by Delat.
You can see the high pressing game that Leicester played really throughout the match. There's at least 6 or 7 blue shirts in that Watford half. They're not allowing the home side just to get their passing game going, get their rhythm going, and play out comfortably from the back. And if you do this, of course, you're going to commit the odd foul or two. And slightly high from Richie De Laet. He's desperate to get to the ball. He's nowhere near it.
Is it a tempo? Is it a strategy they can keep up for 90 minutes, though? De Laet. Chalobah pushing for Batocchio, but James was there first. Nugent. This is the 6th time that Leicester City have taken part in the Championship playoffs over the years. Never have they lost an away leg of a semi-final.
Is it 4 of the previous 5? They've actually reached the final as well, so the record in playoffs is pretty good, at least getting to finals anyway.
Now they actually won the tie to take it to extra time against Cardiff last time out, 3-2 away, you might remember, and then there was that penalty. Doyle. Morgan there ahead of Deeney. Vydra. Batocchio. Oh, lovely close control from Batocchio. Look at him go!
I'll tell you what, this would have been a fabulous individual goal because his footwork was fantastic. His balance is only a small player, low centre of gravity, but the Leicester defenders get nowhere near him, left and right foot. He's so close, possibly just clips that post as well, and there's a deflection on the ball as well. He does brilliantly to open the chance up for himself, and he's a whisker away.
Abdi with the corner. Oh, it's come all the way through. Ekstrand gives chase. Here's Anya. Staffovers from Akechi Anya, now Briggs, now Vydra. Doyle. Abdi. Good spell this for Watford. Abdi's cross over Cassetti. Away by Dyer. Chalobah taking it off the toes of David Nugent.
Well, Leicester might have to play Watford at their own game, sitting in deep, being forced to defend in numbers, and then they'll be quickly breaking on the counter-attack with David Nugent.
Dyer as well, and then they've got a real speed merchant. Well, if the rest of this match is anything to go by, we've got a few more twists and turns yet. Knockouts. De Laet outside it. Richie De Laet. Briggs thought about that one. Wood back across goal.
And it's a real feature of Richie De Laet's game. He loves to get forward. He has throughout this tie. He does well to pick out the ball to Chris Wood, but there's just no power on there. He can't score from there. He's just trying to help it back into the 6-yard box.
De Laet. Nugent's offside.
For Leicester, with the scoreline as it is maybe as the half goes on, just creep back to the edge of your own penalty area. It's very important. I think it's probably comes from Nigel Pearce. He's got to get the message on. Keep squeezing up the pitch, keep trying to get that second goal.
Deeney. Morgan. Wood's presence enough to put Ekstrand off. He's got it. This is Dyer. Knock out one of the early ball. All that came across was a boot. Knockout. Chris Wood can get his boot back on. Didn't get that as he wanted. Briggs. Down the line for Deeney. He's found Chalobah. Went for glory again. He had Anya and acres of space to his rider again.
Such a young player that Chalobah is going to make mistakes, just wrong choices at times, but great hold-up play again from Deeney. Square pass just invited Chalobah to step forward, but the contact wasn't right.
What a season it's been for Nigel Pearson and Leicester. They were second back at the start of February. They were 1-0 up at Peterborough and they had 10 minutes to play. They gave away 2 goals there. They lost that match. 1 win in their next 13 games. They recovered ultimately with that win at Forest on the final day to get into these playoffs. That's why so many people think, as the ones who sneaked in, they may be the dark horses to go all the way to the Premier League.
Well, if you'd offered Nigel Pearson this position even a month ago, he would have said, you're dreaming, but this is where they are, and this is the opportunity that they have to at least get to Wembley and possibly get promoted, but it just looked so unlikely.
Well, they're 35 minutes away from Wembley as it stands. Here's Doyley. Over 400 games for Watford. He's the one survivor out there on the pitch who played in their successful playoff campaign back in 2006 when they got the better of Leeds United. Nugent. Cut out by Doyley. Vydra. King. Delat. Knockout. Little nudge in the back of Briggs by Richie Delat.
It's really positive though from Leicester, considering the scoreline. Both their fullbacks are getting over the halfway line, joining in. It stems to the managers just urging them forward. And they have to be careful though. They have to make sure on the counter-attack they lose possession high up the field. Watford are more than capable of breaking quickly.
Well, one trap you so often see sides fall into when they have a first leg lead and a 2-legged tie, and it's a tight lead, a slender one, is that they sit back. Leicester haven't done that at all, have they, today?
They've done completely the opposite. It is so important. Andy King and Matty James, the 2 central midfielders for them. If the fullbacks go and join in, at least one of those 2 has to be the defensive insurance and just sit in front of the centre-halves so they can mop up any problems that Watford throw at them.
Abdi. Vydra. Briggs. Still Briggs. Vydra. Abdi!
Well, this is a big, big chance, and it's wonderful awareness from Vydra. He could have taken the shot on himself, but he just opens up his body. Pass comes in from Briggs, just opens his body up there, one touch, takes all the pace off the ball, and you've got to hit the target from there.
Vydra will take the corner. It's back for another one. Watford cranking it up just before the hour mark.
You'd have to say neither side are completely comfortable from set pieces.
Cassetti timed it goal bound. It came off wood. They're appealing for handball. It was very, very close quarters. Even if it did come off an arm. Schmeichel, giant clearance straight to Almunia.
Yeah, you do see players appealing now for handballs. The fans go up as well. They want a penalty kick. So difficult. The players so close to each other. It's hard to really pick it out for the referee.
Delat was caught in the air by Briggs.
It isn't the greatest ball in. It's Cassetti across the near post, just flicks it on. I don't see anything in that if possible. More than anything, it's a Watford hand. There's no Leicester arm involved there, and even if there was, to me, you can't give a penalty for that. 2 players virtually shoulder to shoulder. And this is the big chance for Abdi. Does he keep it on target? Well, he possibly does. I do him a disservice. It comes off Michael Keane, and they're very unlucky, Watford.
Wood at the other end causing problems. Cassetti, Batocchio. King, knockout. Chalobah, no time on the ball as Andy King snapped at his heels.
We're probably going to have to see this from Watford. They have to take a few chances, and with having the extra man in central midfield, as we saw with Abdi, they're going to have to break forward time and again.
And that's exactly what Abdi does. He's lost out to Schlupp, though, who has open ground ahead of him. Schlupp glides beyond Doyley. Well, he was trying to find Knockout, didn't get it quite right. Gatocchio.
There's an opportunity there for Watford because Schlupp had gone so far forward. There's an acre of space in behind him. Anya hadn't tracked him back, and if Watford had switched the ball quickly, Anya was in acres of space.
Cassetti spreading play to Anya. Now Abdi. Vydra, no way beyond King. Vydra. Briggs. Chalobah closing down well on Matty James. It's come back to Briggs. Now Chalobah offside. Leicester are going to make a change. They've got Harry Kane on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. He is going to come on. And as he did in the first leg, replace Chris Wood.
He's only 19 years old, Harry Kane, so huge responsibility for him. Talented footballer, goal scorer. He's got a real job to do. David Nugent will play off him. He's got to really lead the line. He's got to be physical up there.
When they met in the last game of Leicester's regulation home season, Harry Kane came off the bench and scored in the second half. Another Leicester goal here. Well, it would be very hard to see Watford coming back from that body blow. Vydra. Some mismatch with Morgan on that occasion. Knockout offside. He started complaining about the offside decision before he was actually given.
He was actually telling the lines when he wasn't offside, so you could pretty much tell that he was. But this will always be the threat for Leicester with Lloyd Dyer and Anthony Knockaert in those wide areas. They're working hard defensively, they're getting back into their own half. And they're so quick, they're so positive on the break, they could easily catch Watford out.
Cassetti, Vydra. Taylor, Delat and Keane take care of business. Knockout. Well, it's going to happen at some stage, Andy. At what stage does Gianfranco Zola go, right, we've got to go for it now. We've got to throw a bit of caution to the wind.
He's had great faith and trusted his players throughout the season, that whether he wants to play the style of formation. So I think he'll stick with it maybe for another 5 minutes or so, but eventually he's got Forestieri, he's got Hayhoe on the bench, he's maybe got to go with a genuine front two. It's hard to think of who to take off. He's got the extra central midfielder, so maybe one of those middle three will be the one to make weight.
We'll also be wary, of course, of what happened when they really went for it on the final day here against Leeds United. They found Paddy Kenny in the inspired form, but then got picked off by Ross McCormack on the counter-attack.
Yeah, they've got the three centre-halves as well, they've got three central midfielders, so either they can take one of the three centre-halves off. We saw Doyley come off in the first leg.
Anya. Abdi. Gatocchio. Here's Chalobah. Doyley. Anya. Cut out by Keane. Here's Chalobah. Nugent trying to get it away, but it's only got as far as Doyley. He was asking too much of Anya.
The pressure is going, and Anya down that right-hand side keeps getting into dangerous areas, trying to pick out crosses. There's just so many Leicester defenders back in the 6-yard box, it's hard for him to pick anyone out.
And here comes the Watford change. Final instructions for Fernando Forestieri from Gianfranco Zola. And it's Lloyd Doyley who comes off. Given that he's out of contract in the summer, Lloyd Doyley, you wonder whether this could be the end of an era. There we go, right on cue, Andy. It's a positive change, isn't it?
We need an extra forward out there, and Briggs is just going to drop back into the back three down that left-hand side. He can comfortably do that. Forestieri now, they've got an extra body up front, but it's all about creating opportunities. You've got Vydra and Deeney, Forestieri now. Can you create that one opportunity to get back into the tie?
Extra. Vydra. Getting the return from Deeney. Vydra! Vydra steps up when Watford really need him. And once again in this extraordinary semi-final, we are level.
Well, his first goal was quite individually brilliant. This is a fantastic team goal. And you look at the link-up play, we talked about it time and again, between Troy Deeney and Matai Vydra. What about the layup from Troy Deeney? The weight of the pass, he doesn't have to break stride, Vydra. Still, he's got some work to do. He's got a top-class keeper to beat. But when he drops deep and gives him goals like this, he's such a threat. And it's a really composed, comfortable finish. And out of very little, suddenly Watford burst into life. And once again, the tie completely wide open. Such a comfortable, cool finish.
Well, throughout the month of March and April and into May, they've been waiting for a goal from Matej Vydra, Watford. Now they have two in what could be their final game of the season to try and ensure that it's not, that they'll have one more go at Wembley at the end of this month.
Well, we talked about the influence that Troy Deeney can have on this Watford side as well. Many centre-forwards desperate to make amends in the first leg, might have turned and tried to get a shot away. But he's such a good team player. He appreciates where the real danger is. It's the onrushing Vydra. The layoff, the weight of the pass, magnificent.
Well, here we go, level again. Just about a quarter of this match remaining. 22-odd minutes left in the season of one of these clubs. Obviously, we have the spectre of extra time and penalties if the scores are as they are at the end of the 90. No away goals rule in the playoffs. Forestieri. Batocchio. His run is used as a decoy. Leicester have sent on Danny Drinkwater and Lloyd Dyer. Very rarely plays the full 90 minutes. Drinkwater on for Kane. Here's Cassetti. Forestieri. Vydra. Forestieri. Looking for Deeney. Shoulder to shoulder with Morgan, but no way round.
Oh, Wes Morgan does really well. He just gets his body in the way, but I've seen a couple of examples now of just why Watford have done so well this season. The football that they play, it's controlled, it's measured, but once they play up to Deeney, he's such a powerhouse up there, he's such a threat. Defenders really do have their work cut out.
All the signs are there that Watford, this final half of the season, have rediscovered their mojo. They're playing really silky football, as illustrated by their equalising goal, but Leicester haven't finished yet. King is going to be pulled back for a foul on Kane earlier in the move. Going to be a booking as well for Cassetti.
Cassetti went flying in there, but the good thing there, he acknowledges that he's made a foul challenge and accepts it, doesn't try and argue the case. He's late, it's a real lunge, and could easily have injured the player quite seriously. It's Harry Kane who just delivers the ball, just nips it through his legs, and that's reckless.
Kane and Anthony knockout. Well, the two in contention to take this for Leicester.
I think the less said about that the better, but Nigel Pearson, the change that he's made, he's sent on an extra central midfielder in Danny Drinkwater. He's virtually changed his system to match up with Watford, because in those central areas, once they get their passing going, they get Vydra dropping off Deeney. He can really influence the game, as we've just seen. So Leicester trying to stop Watford playing through the middle of the park.
Chalobah. Briggs. This match following a strange symmetry of pattern to the one at the City Ground on the final day. It was 2-2 going into added time at the end of that, and we all know what happened there. So Leicester won't feel too downhearted about the way things are going, but Watford continue to come at them in golden waves. Here's Forestieri. Now Anya. Anya's cross, out by King. Chalobah has close control, superb. Deeney. Forestieri there first. Knockout, couldn't keep it in.
I'm sure after that first leg, Nigel Pearson knew the job wasn't done. He knew that Watford were capable of playing much, much better than they did at the King Power, and they're turning up the heat now. They're putting the pressure on.
Deeney to Vydra. This is Chalobah. Nearly. Briggs. Chalobah. Abdi. Anya. Still Anya. Galat's giving it to Forestieri. Now Batocchio. Schmeichel got his body behind it just as well, because he couldn't hold it first time.
It's one of those horrible ones for goalkeepers. You're not sure if it's just going to die on you, maybe bounce in front of you and it makes the save. Really difficult. His positioning's good. You see that ball swerving, moving in the air. Deeney's on the scene as well. It's difficult for Schmeichel.
Well, for the first time in the whole two-legged picture of this tie, Leicester given the impression that they're hanging on a little. Here's James, though. Nugent. Still Nugent. Still Nugent. Goes to ground and gets the free kick he was looking for under the challenge of Ekstrand.
He seems to be running down a bit of a cul-de-sac, and I'm not sure how much contact there was on David Nugent, but he does ever so well just to keep possession here. He's looking for options. There's no one on. Just keeps going. There's possibly a little trip there, a little nudge. Not an awful lot. See, there's the... I don't know, I think he's keen to go to ground. He knows there's so many yellow shirts back there. He's not going to be able to weave his way through, and he'll take the free kick.
Maybe a little more of free kick one rather than free kick surrendered, but Leicester will take it. Goodness me, will they take it?
Well, this is the closest they've been from central set pieces. Knockout's taken most of them. It's a real opportunity. Nugent's over the ball as well. I just wonder whether he might take seniority here and say, this is mine.
Well, this playoff has been the tale of two out-of-form strikers who suddenly found the goals coursing again. Nugent puts it over.
The idea was right, just to whip it over the ball, keep it flat, keep it pacey. It's a cardinal sin when you don't hit the target. It's a really big opportunity, because Leicester have hardly been in this second half, been under the cosh. Watford have played well, and chances like this have been few and far between. Hit the target, work the keeper.
That snarling expression we just saw from Nigel Pearson, telling you everything you need to know about mistakes. Here's Kane onside. Goodness me, had he found knockout there, it would have been more or less a tap-in, wouldn't it?
And Marco Cassetti actually does really well because he just cuts off the supply line to knockout.
Leicester coming back at Watford now. Delat out by Ekstrand. In comes Nugent against Vydra. Delat caught by Batocchio. Another free kick.
Yeah, it's a really good response from Leicester because they've been under the caution. Vydra's levelled the tie up, but Leicester haven't felt sorry for themselves. They've kept going. It's just sloppy at the back from Watford. Haven't seen that in the second half, but this is a big opportunity. See knockout, but I think Cassetti's positioning here makes it very hard for Kane to play that square ball, so give the centre-half credit.
Knockout takes, looking for Morgan, flung himself at it. Abdi. Deeney. Game number 51 of a long season for Watford, 53 for Leicester. And these two clubs slugging it out in the final minutes of the season, for one of them anyway. Knockout. Important touch from Ekstrand as Drinkwater had made good ground forward.
And the game is getting really stretched. Watford, you can see, are desperate to get the killer goal in the tie, and they're leaving themselves at times exposed there because Knockout did well, and Ekstrand just about managed to get his toe on the ball.
Deeney. Waiting for Anya, who finally arrives. Beyond Schlupp, he took a lunge and took plenty of Anya by the look of things. Corner given. Forestieri. What a final 15 minutes we have in store here. It's been an absolutely cracking playoff tie, this second leg, hasn't it? Delat. Drinkwater. Ekstrand. Away from Knockout. Here's Chalobah for Forestieri. Beyond Morgan to Vydra. Deeney makes his move. He's onside. Oh, the flag goes up just as he gets to it. He made his run towards the ball. The flag stayed down, and then when he got close, up it went.
It was a very, very late flag. Again, wonderful build-up work. Forestieri and Vydra. I thought the timing of the pass was perfect as it was played, but the officials have got it right. He's probably just half a yard, and Troy Deeney very, very unlucky. Leicester survive.
Vydra. Abdi. Forestieri. What a challenge. Andy King stayed with him and timed it absolutely perfectly.
Andy King is covering absolutely miles. He's having to do so much defensive work. He wants to go forward and try and grab the winning goal. He's got no choice. He's got to track back towards his own goal, and time again he's getting blocks in it.
Deeney couldn't get that. Cassetti was the one who could only glance wide.
He should have done better because it was pretty much a free header, and this is criminal defending from Leicester. At any stage of any game, you can't allow a centre-half to come up from the back and that much space to work with. Really decent contact here, and Schmeichel could have been in trouble.
Jonathan Holt's going to come on for Watford. Interesting to see who he brings off here. And effectively it is the man who replaced him in the starting lineup, Christian Batocchio.
It actually makes sense, this to me, because it's fresh legs in an area of the pitch that Watford have really dominated, and sending out Jonathan Hogg. Whether he'll just play a bit deeper and that'll encourage Chalobah and Abdi to break forward a bit more, or whether Hogg can break forward as well. That's been the key change for me. Watford have really influenced the game from there.
Strand, Anya, and Abdi. Vydra. Sent it back to Abdi. Here comes Anya.
I'll tell you, this would have been a sensational team goal. It all starts with Ekstrand, who's had the opportunity maybe just to blast the ball into touch. He played out from the back, and 6 passes later, Watford are getting a cross in from inside that Leicester penalty area. It's fabulous football.
Deeney. Briggs. Away by Delat. Ekstrand. And Anya. 10 minutes left for one of these two to try and find a winner without the need for extra time and all the drama that can bring, as if we needed any more. Deeney. Forestieri. Hogg. Deeney, Hogg. Chalobah. Deeney. Vydra.
You see with Vydra, he's got such a good footballing brain. He's not just a goal scorer, he's a real creator as well.
Chalobah. He's got another bite at it off the heels of Schlupp. Quarter, out by Hogg, on by James, and here's Hogg to lead the latest in this second half series of Watford charges. Forestieri, King has had an incredible second half.
Well, this has to be a worry for Nigel Pearson. Watford really bossing the game, dominating possession, and the way they're popping the ball around, always likely to create maybe a chance or two in the final 7 or 8 minutes of this game. It could be decisive.
Cassetti.
It's interesting to see here as well, Leicester just sharing the workload. David Nugent, who was playing wide on the left-hand side, he's now playing as the centre forward, and Harry Kane's gone out there as well, and it's so tough for Leicester because they're dominating the ball, they're having to do a lot of chasing. So players are having to play a couple of positions just to see them through.
Well, when you consider where they finished, Leicester, one of the more extraordinary statistics about their season is that they're the only championship side not to have conceded more than 2 goals in a game. It's not a time to start changing that habit now. Knockout. Cassetti. Hogg. To Anya. Deeney again the target. Morgan again there to meet him.
It's always easier keeping the ball and chasing it, but to me this seems much more of a zip to the Watford play. They're technically a very gifted side, but they're moving it very quickly and they're making Leicester work very hard.
Forestieri, Abdi, Deeney, Anya. Plenty of golden shirts in the box here. Anya out by Morgan. Here's Harry Kane providing a way out, and as Forestieri sliding in, providing a little release of almost relentless pressure that Leicester are having to contend with here at the moment.
I think Harry Kane and Leicester will certainly take that foul because they've been under the caution. Many occasions, Akechi Anya down that right-hand side has had a one-on-one with Jeff Slough and hasn't really provided quality service in there, but it's plenty of thinking for both managers to do.
Slough. Strand away, Deeney, Forestieri, spinning it to try and find Deeney. Morgan must get there and does. Forestieri has it back and is pulled back by Matty James.
I'll tell you what, considering what's at stake, we've had an absolutely fantastic 90 minutes of football here. A fantastic season in the Championship. We expected these playoffs to be special as well, and both sides have given as good as they've got, and it's been a fantastic spectacle.
Well, we knew it was going to be a good afternoon right from the moment when Gol De Vydra scored that extraordinary goal, that wonderful goal to level it up. David Nugent had his say again. His slipperiness at a set piece, finding space, and he headed home to restore Leicester's advantage. Team build-up, Deeney feeding Vydra to give Watford the lead on the day, and the 2-2 aggregate scoreline means that we are just 2.5 minutes plus added time away from extra time. Another half an hour of this.
Well, there is very different approaches from both sides, but you've got to give both managers credit for the way they sent their teams out to play. Leicester didn't come here to defend and play for a 0-0 draw. They really went at it. That's what's made it a really good game.
Briggs. Deeney. Knockouts. Knockout. A little bit of space ahead of him. He's found some energy, couldn't get past Cassetti, and an Ekstrand there to help out. Watford won't hang around to find out how Ekstrand is. They come forward through Forestieri, but it is a head injury, so Michael Oliver takes the initiative.
And the referee does well. Of course, he wants the game to flow, but I think Knockout probably catches Ekstrand with his shin there. But it's a really good challenge coming across from Ekstrand, because Knockout's certainly on his way. Ekstrand times the challenge brilliantly. Just seems to get a trailing foot on the head there. I'm not sure what Knockout has done. As he looks to break in behind that Watford defence there, you can just see it. As that trailing leg comes through, that's what catches Ekstrand.
Well, in a way, in this second half, Andy, in particular, we've seen what both these two are about. There's a little controversy about Watford because of the loan policy they have, but they're not breaking any rules. And put that to one side, whatever your thoughts on it, they have developed into a wonderful footballing side, one of the easiest on the eye in this division. Leicester City, the fact that they're here is testament to the battling qualities they have.
So I was talking about the different formations and the way that they play three centre-halves, Watford, but they do play their football out from the back. They've done it all season long. They've done it here again in this tie, but Leicester, once they got into the playoffs, momentum was certainly with them, and you have to give them an awful lot of credit as well. You could easily have faded away, but they haven't. They stepped up to the plate and they put in two big performances.
Well, Ekstrander's going to need to be bandaged up for the final salvo. There may be a little more injury time added on than there would have been initially as a result of this. Nigel Pearson using this break to issue some final rallying words to his troops. And this breaking play gives us a chance to relive the standout moments of this tie so far, Andy.
Well, we've had Van Persie, we've had Van Basten. What about Vydra? Because this is a quite stunning opening goal. It was a wonderful finish from a player that had missed a few chances in the tie. And David Nugent, master goal scorer, just nods this beautifully into the corner to give the initiative back to Leicester. But Vydra, that link-up play with Troy Deeney, absolutely fabulous. The front two, Vydra dropping off, playing off Deeney. An excellent finish, and the tie is all square.
Yes, that is why we are where we are. More treatment for the head cut to Joel Ekstrand. For all the world, it looks like we are heading to an extra half an hour here. And who knows, 3 years to the day of Leicester's penalty shootout second leg defeat at Cardiff, May the 12th, 2010. We could yet be heading there again. We shall see.
So it has been really tough, of course, to separate these two sides. You only have to look at the scoreline to know how equally matched they've been, and you probably feel extra time is probably what the tie deserves, because neither team, for me, has really deserved to win the game. Going into extra time, and I'm sure it's going to be as tight in the extra 30 minutes as well, and I can easily see us getting penalties here, and it's going to be so nerve-wracking for all the fans.
Oh, goodness me, have they been through the mill this season, Leicester City? You wouldn't have got particularly good odds on them going up automatically, would you, back in February? But then came the massive slump, and they pulled themselves out of it just in the nick of time. Mike Stowell, Nigel Pearson, Craig Shakespeare, all there.
I'd have to say, Bill, though, the Championship as a whole, from top to bottom, it's been so unpredictable this season. We weren't sure who was going to get relegated, we weren't sure who was going to get automatically promoted or even into the playoffs. It's been so close, and that's why we knew these playoffs were going to be very tight as well.
And in a season when there are just 14 points between the final qualifying playoff place and the relegation places, you know it's a season where everyone's taking points off each other. Now we're really nearly ready to go. Change of shirt. I'd say a change of hair colour as well for Joel Ekstrand. Keane. Ekstrand's back on. Kane.
I don't think Joel Ekstrand will agree, but both managers will probably be thankful just for that 3 or 4 minute break, just to have a word with their players, try and settle them down going into the final stages of the game.
The goal now wins it. Nugent trying to put it on a plate for knockout. Who, from a Leicester perspective, was a little concerned. He got up from that collision limping. Forestieri. Hogg. Deeney takes it, gives it to Kane though. Julie gets it back. There's no doubt about it, Andy. The fact that Troy Deeney is available today has made such a difference to the way Watford have played from start to finish, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Yes. Of course, he hasn't scored in this game, but his influence, just the way he can occupy centre-halves, he's so physical. Good movement. He makes it very hard for defenders to know what is going to happen, but it's his link-up play. We saw it with the Vydra goal, the second goal. That's why he's key to this team. The ball goes into him, it sticks. He's got great awareness and a good touch for a big centre forward as well.
Knockout has missed it. Abdi. And back by Drinkwater. Kane. Loses out in a bad area to do so. Vydra can't take full advantage. And Schlupp makes sure. Well, the 4 minutes of added time went up, but we really restarted play with the clock on 92. You'd expect us to play at least 96, 97 minutes before the full-time whistle goes. No free kick on Forestieri. No way through for Alman Abdi. Briggs. Knockout now. Nothing for Nugent. Good number of blue shirts committed forward here. Drinkwater's one. Nugent. It's a good ball in. And Kane can't get the contact he was looking for.
It's a fabulous ball in from David Nugent. So much more than just a centre forward in wide areas. Great appreciation. He knows where he wants to put this ball in. It's a little bit static from Watford at the back, and you get fortunate. But I tell you what, the energy levels that every player out there has shown, they just work tirelessly.
Well, they're going to have to go again for another half an hour. Both sides still with one substitution in the bank. But it's like it may well be Leicester who will finish the stronger. Knockout, he's got beyond Briggs, still going. Knockout goes to ground as Cassetti leads on him. Penalty! That is a massive decision. What a huge decision given by Michael Oliver.
I'll tell you what, I'm not completely sure about this. I'm with Gianfranco Zola. I feel that Knockaert is looking for this penalty. There might be some contact on him, but he's looking to go to ground. We'll get a better view here. He does brilliantly to get into the penalty area, but once he knocks it past Cassetti, there's a slight touch. To me, he throws himself to the ground, and that is a massive call for the referee. I felt he was probably going to book Knockaert. I'm not convinced he's got it right. Knockaert, for me, is looking for it.
Well, it's a season-defining call, nothing short of that. Knockaert takes, Almunia saves, Knockaert follows in, Almunia saves again! Absolutely astonishing. Now here come Watford. Forestieri. Here's Hogg. Deeney! Do not scratch your eyes. You are really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. It almost mirrors the final day. With the very last kick of this playoff semi-final, Troy Deeney wins it for Watford and sends them to Wembley.
Well, we talked about Troy Deeney being an influence in this game, and that is exactly what he has been. But to me, not justice has been done in terms of the penalty. I didn't feel it was a penalty, so Knockaert not scoring, I felt was right. But you talk about a team that just doesn't give up, that keeps going, that keeps believing. Almunia, the hero at one end, and within 10 seconds, how quickly do Watford come straight down the other. And talk about being positive, about believing in yourselves. They just keep going, they keep the ball alive. And Troy Deeney has covered an awful lot of ground. Jonathan Hogg does quite brilliantly here to knock this back. Composure, you betcha. What a finish this is. And well, it looks like Watford are going to Wembley.
All the heartache, all the heartbreak of that final day, it all comes spilling out. Gianfranco Zola slips over as he celebrates. The sheer euphoria pouring out from everyone, managers, players, supporters, as they came on for some slightly preliminary celebrations. The pitch being cleared again now by these stewards, but how about that? How about that?
There's a word I've used about Matai Vydra, composure. When that ball broke to Troy Deeney, there was no panic. He was so relaxed. He wasn't worried about the state of play, the stage of the game. He just concentrated on doing what he does best, and that's hit the target. make sure you score, and it's just, well, it's heartbreaking for Leicester, but what an opportunity to get to Wembley for them. They missed the penalty, they sweep down the other end. This is why we love the Football League, we love the Championship, and this is why we love the playoffs. I don't believe he does, though.
Well, they had their head in their hands, just as they did on the final day when the penalty was given by Michael Oliver. When Anthony Knockaert stepped up, and Manuel Almunia, who missed all the drama here for Watford on the final day, was the saviour. The skipper stepping up, Deeney booked for the celebrations. He'll take that, and Watford will take this, as everyone now looks to the referee to make a different decision when to blow the final whistle.
Well, remember that Brentford-Doncaster game, you think you've seen it all. And that was in the regular season, now in the playoffs, something equally as dramatic.
Well, look at this. A blue wave rushes forward as Michael launches it. And now Mooney is there again, bravely, strongly, decisively. And perhaps for Leicester City, terminally.
Well, it's all getting a little niggly. It's, I think, Danny Drinkwater who goes in here just to try and pinch the ball. Almunia, well, that penalty save, he's the real hero. He does well coming off his line here, he's brave. There's lots of bodies, he's going to take a whack, and he makes sure he gets to the ball first, though.
They've done it. They have done it. Troy Deeney, who has had the most topsy-turvy season himself, puts an extraordinary finishing touch to the most extraordinary second leg of this playoff semi-final. Anthony Knockaert down, he cannot believe it. He had the chance to send Leicester City to Wembley. From the penalty spot, he couldn't do it. And Watford up the other end to score through Troy Deeney. That almost blurs what game against Leeds. It just turns around so quickly, doesn't it?
And that's where the outpouring of joy is coming from, the desperation they felt after losing out to Leeds, losing out on automatic promotion. But it is teams that get you promoted. From back to front, you've got to be solid. You go from Almunia saving the penalty all the way up to your centre forward who bangs the ball into the net to win the game, to win the tie and take you to Wembley. Watford this season, they've played some incredible football. In many ways, they do deserve a chance to get to the Premier League, but it's absolutely heartbreaking for Leicester.
Yeah, you have to feel for Leicester, and in particular for Anthony Knockaert, that young man. It's more penalty playoff pain for Leicester City, who lose away from home a playoff tie for the first time. But for Watford it's joy, for Watford it's Wembley, and for Watford it is an extraordinary afternoon of golden memories at Vicarage Road.